My opinion is that most of what you're consuming on the news, and when I say news, I mean prime time or mainstream news media channels, and this is more relevant for those who watch news on the TV, is that most of what you're consuming is garbage. And if you're watching it for entertainment purposes, I'm not going to judge you, that's your call. The reason you need to stop watching it or reduce watching it drastically is, and this is backed up by science now, is that the colors they use, the bright colors, the flashing lights, the graphics, they are all designed to get your attention, to get you hooked. And unfortunately, what happens is that they put you in this fight or flight state, this fight or flight response, which our body thinks it's being attacked. Typically, hundreds, thousands of years ago, if you were chased by a tiger, if you were going to get chased by a tiger in some wilderness where our ancestors were living, your body would trigger the fight or flight response for you to be able to run away from that tiger as successfully as possible in order for you to survive. But I know people who are watching the news several hours a day, they just keep running it in the background. Even if it's running on mute, those colors that they use, that bright red, the bright blue, the bright screens, the screaming anchors for those who are listening to it not on mute, who are actually consuming this, it's really bad for your health. So please reduce exposure to the news. If you really need to get information from the news, find a website that you can access, or actually read a newspaper if anybody does that anymore. Otherwise, go to a website, put on the blue light filter on your phone and read as much news as you want. At least you're not going to be getting assaulted by these mad graphics, these mad screaming colors, and you're going to reduce yourself from getting into a state of fight or flight, which is going to drastically reduce your stress levels, and it's going to be better for your health. When your body is in this fight or flight state, your body starts releasing hormones like cortisol, which is the stress hormone. The more cortisol in your system, the more stress you're going to feel and get, and the more stressed you are, and this is directly proportional to cortisol. The higher the cortisol, the lower your immunity, the more chances of you catching an infection, catching some disease, and definitely your sleep is going to be disrupted as well. So my humble request to you is, please stop watching these mainstream news channels. They are destroying your brain and they're destroying your health. And not to mention that there seem to be, the key purpose of these news channels these days seems to be to destroy lives.